If you thought Gypsy confirming her sex dates with boyfriend Ken was TMI, wait till you see what she commented on this page. So another T page, I will tag them down below, posted the comment about Ken, Gypsy's boyfriend, being on GRINDR. Gypsy then commented on that video saying they are just trolls with no proof. The T page replied, "I don't know, Gyp, it's starting to look fishy with now 2 people coming forward." Gypsy replies, "People also don't have the privilege of his cat emoji eating skills. If they did, any doubt would be washed away in the wave of LOL. TMI."
Gypsy Rose Blanchard has definitely been an interesting train wreck to watch since her release from prison. Case in point, while she's still married to her husband Ryan Anderson, she recently gave her boyfriend Ken Urker a promise ring. Gypsy's been crazy about Ken and literally ditched Ryan to be with him. But have you ever noticed that energy doesn't seem to go both ways? I mean, Ken doesn't seem nearly so crazy about her. The rumor mill has been loud about the situation, and you won't believe what it's saying. Let's get this straight. Allegedly, Ken isn't. Did Gypsy just give Ken a promise ring to try and keep him from running around on GRINDR and stay at home? Stick around and I'll break it all down for you.
I got confirmation that Ken Urker or Urker or whatever he wants to go by is in fact a bisexual man.
In June, a whole bunch of tea got spilled on Ken. See, this man named Steve Wood made a comment on Facebook and called Ken out. "Hey Gyps, tell Ken that I want all of our pictures, videos, and scrapbooks returned ASAP. He thought it was cute using me while playing house with you. I have some good stories to tell you if you want to hit me up in my DMs. I also want my personally engraved ring and necklace back. I have a box of his stuff too. Tell that biatch to call me, and by the way, when are you gonna tell everyone you were pregnant and trap poor Ken like Dee Dee trap Rod? Asking for a friend. Yeah, Ken confided to me and is scared as fuck that you are gonna be a mom to his child." Now you could brush that off as someone trolling them and looking for their 15 minutes of fame, but there's a lot of specific details in there like scrapbooks and engraved jewelry. Oh, and the fact that at that time, Gypsy was actually pregnant but didn't make that announcement public until a month later in July. So Steve actually seems to have known a thing or two. Steve went underground after this. He's changed both his name and profile picture multiple times on Facebook, obviously trying to hide, and he hasn't made any such posts since then. It's like he caused all this chaos and then disappeared into the shadows. Ken spoke about the rumors while he was on a live with Gypsy.
Story about me.
Okay, hold on 1 second. People keep asking about the Steve Woods thing again. I've already addressed this. He doesn't exist.
Just ignore it, like.
Internet troll.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you read online. There's no evidence. There's no receipts.
Exactly.
But Steve wasn't the only one. There were actually a surprising number of guys coming out saying that they talked to Ken on GRINDR. If you don't know, GRINDR is a dating app that's kind of like gay Tinder. It's primarily used by gay or bi men, but also by the trans and queer community. Basically, if you're a straight man on GRINDR, you probably stumbled into the wrong place. Or maybe you're not that straight, if you know what I mean. One of the men left this comment. "By the way, Gypsy, you should really investigate on Ken. Some of us have met him on GRINDR, and GRINDR's a gay app. FYI. Gypsy replied and said, "They are just trolls with no proof." To which the T page with T said, "I don't know, Gyp, it's starting to look fishy with now 2 people coming forward." Gypsy said, "Actually, he had a girlfriend and I have seen pictures of them from the last 4 years in his phone, so please stop with these rumors." Well, we all know that just because a man had a girlfriend doesn't mean it's completely impossible for him to have some boy toys on the side. I don't even know why she tried to make this argument, honestly. If these people are right and he's out here on gay dating apps on the down low, then all that means is that he fooled 2 women, not just old Gypsy. Anyway, she went on to say, "We had a whole argument about it, but deleted them after I said something about it." Then she definitely got into some real TMI saying, "People also don't have the privilege of his kitty eating skills. If they did, any doubt would be washed away in the wave of water emoji. LOL. There's only one reason a woman puts her business out there unprovoked like that. She's either trying to convince herself that it's true, or she's trying to convince us. Either way, it's usually not true." Let's talk about this ring for a minute. People have been saying that Gypsy and TMZ are kind of collaborating with each other. Like her and her people feed them info and then they go report it, and that seems to be the case with the ring story. In all seriousness, her giving Ken a promise ring really seems like some high school antics that isn't newsworthy. So the fact that TMZ reported on it means that Gypsy probably told them about it and that it's probably going to be a part of a bigger story later. According to TMZ, she gave Ken the ring after the gender reveal party, and when fans saw a pic of the couple at Nobu, they had questions about the ring. TMZ says it's a symbol Gypsy is committed to their relationship and their new family, with their baby girl on the way, and it also represents their love. They also reported, Gypsy told Ken she understands the struggles they face, but in her heart he's her true husband, and accepting the ring would mean he feels the same way. I'm gonna take us down to Petty Town for a minute and state the obvious, but like, Gypsy girl, you probably should have found out whether he felt that way before, I don't know, leaving your husband and running off with him and getting pregnant by him? By the way, she's still married to Ryan, and Gypsy doesn't have a ring herself because we're told the couple doesn't feel it's appropriate for her to wear a ring on that finger until after her divorce from Ryan Anderson is finalized. But I mean, apparently committing adultery and getting knocked up by another dude, completely fine as long as they don't put a ring on that finger. Gypsy has been cuckoo for Ken Puffs for a long time, and she gives herself anxiety knowing that he has the free will to leave her. I'm just saying, that's the same type of mentality that Jeffrey Dahmer had. Literally trying to turn people into zombies because he didn't want them to leave either. And the fact that she had already did time for one murder makes that even more creepy to think about. It really seems like she's using this pregnancy as a manipulation tactic. Check out how crazy emotional she is in this clip, and keep in mind that Gypsy has used tears in the past to manipulate people, like Nick Godejohn and investigators. I got the ick just watching that, so I can't even imagine how bad it is for Ken. And poor Ken is looking more and more uncomfy in their streams together. This person wrote, "You can literally see it in Ken's face. He's had enough." Then there's this uncomfortable live stream.
Anna for the roses? Do I want to change my name? I'm not sure they're talking to me or you, but if you're asking me, no. Ellen, my name is just fine.
Gypsy has leaked fake engagement dates too, and then when someone asked her about it, she said, "I'm not engaged, that's just a rumor." Her tactics are pretty clear to followers too. One follower said, Gypsy is so desperate to marry Ken that she took him on a special date to Nobu and basically proposed to him with a promise ring. People are now questioning whether Gypsy's even pregnant. She's got a baby bump that seems to disappear about half of the time, and at 5 months pregnant, that shouldn't even be a thing. But beyond that, Gypsy's a pretty small girl, so it would be a little more pronounced and her posture should be starting to change, and it's not. She doesn't have any swelling in her face, no acne, there's nothing to indicate that she's pregnant besides the fact that she sometimes has a bump. Those pictures were taken a week apart.
This was last week. This was yesterday. I need you to make it make sense.
And Flawless Nina has a point. Now, in that clip, you see Gypsy looking pregnant in a pretty loose-fitting dress. Remember that? Gypsy has responded saying, "Unbeknownst to the internet trolls, a woman's body is not the same as another, and particularly for me. I have a small baby bump that appears larger when wearing tight-fitting clothes and barely noticeable when wearing baggy clothes. It's common sense." Common sense, huh? She had on that loose dress and looked super pregnant in that picture, so I guess it's just some baggy clothes she has this problem with? Somebody make it make sense! And the wildest thing is that it's not the first time Gypsy's used pregnancy as a manipulation tactic. Did you know she told Nick Godejohn she was pregnant too?
In May of 2015, Gypsy Rose Blanchard told Nicholas Godejohn that she had been pregnant with his female child, a daughter.
The timeline is crazy too. According to Without a Crystal Ball, Gypsy started telling people she was pregnant back in April, which would have put her getting pregnant in February or March when she was still with Ryan. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is lying about her pregnancy timeline, and multiple sources have told me the tea. Back in mid-April, multiple friends of Gypsy received a text message of a positive pregnancy test. Ryan Anderson said that he also received a similar text from Gypsy in April. He said on the show that Gypsy didn't know who fathered the child. The news began circulating not only in the family but also in prison. Gypsy allegedly told multiple inmates about the pregnancy. By May, Gypsy told friends that she conceived in May and the father was Ken. She claimed that the pregnancy test in April was a false positive. Her friends do not buy her claims. Like Ryan, none of them received a new pregnancy test confirming the pregnancy. Remember how Steve said that Ken was scared that Gypsy was pregnant with his baby? Well, apparently they're in some sort of pregnancy counseling about it already. And it's kind of weird that someone who's online talking about how she's so happy about the pregnancy is going to counseling over it. Maybe it's Ken that's getting cold feet and doesn't want to stick around for her and this maybe baby. It seems pretty clear that Gypsy Rose is out here doing everything in her power to keep her man at home. But I honestly don't think it's him running because she's pregnant, if she even is. All the evidence seems to point to the fact that he's been online finding guys to hook up with on the side. And maybe Gypsy doesn't have him as locked down as she thinks she does because he's out here playing both sides of the field. But that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!